How are y'all, and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a challenge run in Luck Be a Landlord, and this challenge was submitted by our viewer Stephanie, so thanks very much for that. In the comments, as always, if you have a challenge you want to submit, just stick them in the comments and let me know not only what the challenge is but what floor you want to do it on. This challenge is simple enough. It's called Cult of the Doomed, and we have to take all cultists, all hexes and all witches, as well as any items or item essences that relate to those symbols. A pretty interesting challenge. Cultists, as we know, incredibly strong. If we can get them rolling early, it'll be a bit of a walkover. On the other hand, hexes can definitely just tank your run completely. Hexes of Midas are terrible. Hexes of Thievery are terrible. Hexes of Hoarding, or the hex which makes you skip, I forget what that's called, can both be terrible. So hexes, Hex of Tedium, of course, decent, particularly if you're going cultist. And witches, yeah, witches can be good or bad. So we'll probably go spirits as well with the witches. So yeah, it's going to definitely come down to whether we get a load of cultists or a load of hexes first. So we'll see how it goes. Out of these three options, I will take a key. I'll take a 3-sided dice, just worth 2 on average, and I'll take a lockbox for the key. That's not too bad. Okay, our first cultist pretty early before the first rent payment. That's always a good sign. So we made the first rent payment of 25 with 23 left over, 50 now due in 5 spins. An essence capsule is fantastic, and I guess a fish tank. None of these items are very good, to be honest. Okay, I'll take a Hex of Thievery, one of the worst hexes. I think it gives you an average of 1 per turn. I'll take a second Hex of Thievery. This is not good. We actually got 0 on that spin. I'll take a cultist. That will definitely help us make the next rent payment. Let's skip all of these. Okay, we got 15 on that, so we made the 50 rent payment with 16 left over, 100 due in 6 spins. Lucky dice isn't too bad. We do have a 3-sided dice. Black cat essence, I don't think it's possible for me to get this before the end of the game, so I'll take lucky dice essence. So what this does is, after dice give kinds 10 times, dice always give, so they'll always roll 3, and while I have the essence it will give me 4 basically when it rolls 3. So it's pretty decent. I'll take it. I will also take, so this is worth 10, this is worth like maybe 10ish, this is worth 3 by 6, 18, 19, 20. That will probably end up being worth more. Out of these, Lunchbox isn't great. Oswald the Monkey, we could try and get a monkey thing going maybe, or Quigley the Wolf. We could also try and get wolves going. Not a big fan of them though, they do kind of fill up your deck. On the other hand, they are worth 3, which should be decent enough, so I'll go Quigley the Wolf. Monkey there was also an option if I'd had a monkey. Hex of Tedium, as far as hexes go, probably one of the better ones. It just makes me more likely to get cultists and also less likely to get hexes, because hexes are uncommon. So let's take a dog for Quigley the Wolf. Just turns into a wolf, and that'll just hang around and give me 3 every turn. Essence capsule I think is much stronger than a dog, and we are about to make rent. We will make rent, so we can afford to take it. Here we have a choice of Hex of Midas or Hex of Emptiness. Hex of Midas I think could easily just kill this run, so I have to take Hex of Emptiness. In your hand, that probably means that we're not going to see very many symbols from now on. Of course, there's always a chance I get Holy Water or the Holy Water Essence, which removes the negative effects of hexes, and that'll make this run pretty easy. We did make the 100 rent payment with 61 left over, 150 due in 6 spins. Mazar's Contract. We could go 5th ace and maybe try and stack something here as well, or triple coins. Actually, with triple coins, Hex of Midases aren't that bad, because they'll at least give 3. Let's take the triple coins essence. Let's go Hex of Tedium, and let's go Grave Robber. Okay, we could take another coin just to try and get triple coins going. It's strange, but I'll do it. In 24 per turn, we're not going to see very many symbols from now on, which could harm our cultist plan. I did take Grave Robber, didn't I? So I'll take an urn actually. There goes our dice essence. Let's skip these. So our dice is now back to giving us a random number. There's our third kind. That's not too bad. So kinds are now worth 3. Obviously a King Midas would actually be pretty decent. Let's take the 150 rent payment, 77 left over. We're doing pretty good at the moment. 225 due in 7 spins. Should not be a problem. 4-leaf clover is just worth 60. Grey pepper essence is worth 30, so obviously works. And this is worth 100. After 25 turns. Will we survive 25 turns? We're probably just better off with the 4-leaf clover essence, I guess. Coffee essence, as I saw in one of the recent runs, really strong. Just gives you an extra 2 spins. Fruit basket we're probably never going to use, and we don't have anything for checkered flag. This is strong if you pick up a Robin Hood. For everything else, well, maybe a magpie, but for everything else it's not great. Let's take coffee essence. How are we doing symbols? We have 3 empties. We could pick up a buffing capsule, I guess, and we could pick up rusty gear. Is generally really good with cultists, or hexes, or kinds actually. Rusty gear, and now we want to fill our deck full of kinds. Yes, that could be the way we win this. A strange way to win this run. It's probably not what was intended, but could definitely be a thing. We're getting about 30 per turn, which means we definitely make the next rent payment. We're not going to see very many symbols. Let's skip all of these. Okay, 40 on that turn. We've picked up our third cultist, which is great. 48 per turn. We're doing well at the moment. 51. We could pick up another dog, but I don't think so. I feel like kinds will end up being better than dogs. So we've made the... Oh, I thought that was the last rent payment. Although with Quigley the Wolf, maybe I should pick up at least 3 wolves. I don't know, we'll see. We made the 225 rent payment with 238 left over, so we're doing great at the moment. 300 due in 7 spins. Take another Hex of Emptiness. Anthropology degree with cultists is fantastic, so I'll take it. At this stage we're probably pretty close. 65 already per spin, which is really, really good, particularly for this stage of the game. Bounty Hunter, we could take this to try and destroy cultists, but not a good idea. Bubble is probably better than just skipping. Not very much better, but slightly better. We do have Grave Robber. Let's pick up an urn. Let's start using our removals. I'll get rid of the flower first. Okay, I don't particularly want a coal. I think it's a bit late. It's not going to fit into this deck, so I'll skip all of them. What are we doing here? Candy, monkey, or diamonds? I don't want any of them. And we've just used up our 4-leaf clover essence. Billionaire is not in this, not something that fits into this deck. There's not very much that fits into this deck. In fact, most of what we take would be forced to take. We made the 300 rent payment with 343 left over. 350 due in 8 spins, so we've almost got it. This brown pepper essence, like it's terrible. It's worth 10. This pink pepper is worth 20. I guess checkered flag will end up being worth more, and I don't want either of the other two. Red suits is interesting. I could pick up the red suit essence and then maybe just throw in as many red suits as I can. It's a plan which may or may not happen. I'll take Tomb, and I'll take Grey Pepper. Would probably end up being worth maybe 60 to 100, which would probably be worth more than white pepper. White pepper is worth about 1 per spin, so probably end up being worth like 50 or 60. I'm not entirely sure how many spins are left. I'm not too fussed about skipping all of the symbols because at this stage the deck is pretty decent and we're well ahead of rent. Okay, we fill up our deck with spirits. Let's take a buffing capsule. Let's remove the cherry and the pearl and probably the cat. We just want to get as many spirits in at the same time so they'll get buffed by rusty gear. 16 per spirit, 110 on that spin. That's fantastic. I don't need any more symbols. I wouldn't mind picking up maybe well, we have 3 hexes of tedium actually. Maybe a third of one of the other ones, so more likely they'll get hit by rusty gear. At this stage we're not seeing any symbols whatsoever. Very unlucky. I suppose if I have 2 hexes, a 30% chance not to see symbols, that's like a, I don't know, like I had a 1 in 3 chance I'll see a symbol. I've given up. We did make the, what was that, 375 rent payment with 537 left over, so we're doing fantastic. 425 due in 8 spins. Now the question is, do I want to start adding hearts and try and get this red suit idea going? I do have 5 empties. Let's do it. And triple coins is just fantastic. So our coins are now giving us 9 coins each. And if they ever end up next to each other, next to themselves, like 3, we'll get 18. So at this stage, yeah, we've already won. An interesting challenge. We definitely got lucky with the coins and managed to build our own deck around that. Interestingly, since then I haven't seen any hexes of Midas. You can see the big problem with this challenge will be you don't actually get that many symbols to add. So we've only picked up 3 cultists, haven't seen any witches. Since we picked up these 2 hexes of emptiness, we're really we're really limited in just crafting our deck. So that'll be the big. Now, after a rent payment, you are guaranteed to add symbols, as far as I'm aware. So there is that. We've made the 425 rent payment, 705 left over, 575 due in 9 spins. Recycling is good. Cardboard box is okay. Rusty gear is much better. And here we can pick lockpick, cardboard box, or egg carton. I guess lockpick or cardboard box. We do have quite a lot of removals, and we don't really have anything we're going to use them on. So I meant to take lockpick, but I did take cardboard box by accident. It doesn't particularly matter. Let's take fifth ace, I guess. And let's see, so we have 3 coins, we have 3 hexes of emptiness, 3 hexes of tedium, and 3 cultists. Let's see what will get the rusty gear benefit. Can't see any symbols. Obviously I would prefer if the coins got the benefit, but it doesn't really matter, we've already won. Something got the benefit, hexes of tedium it is. Not the worst, I guess. Don't particularly want a 5-sided dice, let's skip. Okay, and we will skip again. Yeah, we're getting 76 per turn, so we've pretty much already won this. And I don't want any of these, let's skip this. And it came up with 7, sure, why not. And we'll skip these. I wonder, is there a speedrun strategy to take a load of hexes of emptiness so you're not offered as many? Well, I just skipped all of that. I guess horseshoe is better than a skip. So you're not offered as many symbols. Although I don't know if it's any faster than just skipping symbols that you are offered. So probably not. Okay, skip again. I feel like I'm being offered less symbols than I should be. Like, well, I suppose now I have 3 hexes of emptiness. I probably don't have a hope of. Yeah, 3 hexes of emptiness. They've all got 30% chance of going off. So it's like a 90% chance I won't see any symbols. It's a good thing our deck is already made up. 78 consistently. I'm basically only seeing symbols after paying rent. Okay, and we made the 625 rent payment with 905 left over, 675 due in 10 spins. Holy water is, yeah, we definitely have to take it. We're going to start seeing symbols again now, which could be a bad thing. Out of these, I guess we could take X-ray essence, might help, and we'll take a silver arrow, I think. Telescope, very rare. Every 4 spins, all symbols are considered adjacent. Does that? Oh, that might work with rusty gear. So I'll take it. Don't particularly want anything else here anyway, so there's no reason not to. And our holy water essence has gone off, so now, yeah, there's no benefit. We'll just take all the hexes. There's no downside to taking hexes. That'll give me a massive amount. I'm getting 133 per turn. At this stage, cultists are probably the worst. Let's just skip this. Let's remove everything that isn't directly related to the deck. I'll keep the coins in though, because I think They're pretty interesting. 54 of those kinds. I guess I could take a big urn. Why not? That was actually a telescope turn and I didn't notice how good it was. 150, let's skip all of these. So the biggest problem with this moment, it will be not accidentally, do I have fishbowl? I do. Not accidentally skipping something that I shouldn't. 207 on that telescope turn, which I assume counts for rusty gear. Yeah, because we only got 134 on that turn. And I'm going to say the distribution was pretty much the same. 675, we made that rent payment with 1740 left over. Last rent payment 777 due in 10 spins. Let's pick up something interesting. Magic key. General Zareth is funny. Let's take a spirit. We could take a spirit. King Midas, sure. And frozen pizza, probably the best, but don't take let's take it. Sure, why not? King Midas is going to take this run away with us. So 54 from both of the kinds. Let's skip this. Also, we've been offered 2 very rare items on this run, which is strange. Skip this and we'll skip this. And I'll take a Hex of Midas. Although it doesn't add any kinds anymore, so it's not as good as it used to be. In fact, it's just diluting the deck. Okay, 54. Let's, I guess, take a goldfish. This should be pretty good. 54 from each of these kinds for a massive 598. Let's skip. Actually, King Midas with telescope, really good. And skip all of these. And skip all of these. And I guess I might as well take a chemical 7. We'll skip all of these. King Midas doing fantastic work on a telescope turn for a massive 734, and we made the 777 rent payment with 4,290 left over. So not one of the hardest challenges, although in fairness we got incredibly lucky. Rusty gear early on, we got the triple coin essence early on, and once we got that, yeah, we had a direction for this game. We were then also offered 2 coins really quickly after that, which really helped because we didn't get King Midas or Hex of Midas until much later. So if we hadn't been offered those 2 coins, if we hadn't have gotten the triple coin essence, coffee may have helped, and then rusty gear, and then anthropology degree, which for a cultist run, yeah, just everything came together. Triple coin then just to really knock it out of the park, and I mean we had no problem. The only thing about this run is if we hadn't been offered all the coins items to make coins so good, we probably wouldn't have won. We had to skip, once we got the 3 hexes of emptiness, we had to skip a lot of symbols. If it wasn't for the fact that we already had our deck kind of working for us, yeah, this would have been a much more difficult challenge. So an incredible amount of luck, and in the end, quite a smooth challenge. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. As always, please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to see more every day. Subscribe. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Until next time, guys, take care of yourselves and cheers for now.